Just install Laravel 12. Great. Let me quickly show you what each folder does so you always know where your code goes. Let's start from top with the F folder. The F folder is the heart of your application. This is where most of your backend logic goes. In app HTTP, you will find your controllers, which handles incoming requests and return responses. In app models, you have your eloquent models. Each model usually represents a table in your database. You might notice there is no middleware folder by default. Laravel now creates certain folder only when you need them. So once you generate middleware using Artisan, Laravel will automatically create app HTTP middleware folder for you. Inside app providers, you will find the service providers classes that configure different part of your application. These providers live here and Laravel loads them using bootstrap providers.php. Next is the bootstrap folder. You will see three important parts here: bootstrap app.php, bootstrap providers.php, the bootstrap cache directory. In bootstrap app.php, Laravel configure how the application boots. This file defines which root file app should use, which global middleware apply to web or API requests, and how exceptions should be handled. In bootstrap providers.php, Laravel lists all service providers from app providers and loads them during startup. The bootstrap cache directory contains optimized version of roots, config, and framework bootstrap files. You never edit this folder manually. Laravel manages it automatically. The config folder contains all of your app's configuration files. Config app.php defines things like your application name, time zone, and general settings. Config database.php defines your database connection. The other config files handles things like caching, mail, queues, logging, and more. Most values inside these files come from .env files, so config and .env work together. The database folder contains everything related to your data. You will see factories used to generate fake data for testing and seeding, migration, define the structure of your database tables, seeders, insert sample or initial data. When you run PHP Artisan Migrate, Laravel reads the migration files to create or update your tables. The public folder is the only folder exposed directly to the browser. Your entry file index.php is here, along with compiled CSS, JavaScript, and public assets. On production servers, your web host points directly to this folder. The resources folder contains your front-end files. At the top is the CSS folder, which holds your styles. Below that is the JS folder, which contains JavaScript files. And the most important folder here is views, where your blade templates and HTML pages live. If you add localization later, Laravel will automatically create a resource length folder to store your translation files. All of your application roots live inside the roots folder. In a fresh Laravel 12 installation, you will see roots web.php, roots console.php. Web.php contains browser roots. These roots usually return views. Console.php is where define custom artisan command and scheduled background tasks. Laravel also supports API routing, but the roots api.php file is not created by default. If you want to enable API routes, you can run php artisan install API. This install Laravel sanctum, creates roots api.php, and sets up stateless API routing with an automatic API prefix. Later, when we build API, we will work inside roots api.php. Storage folder contains log files, cached data, compiled blade templates, and uploaded files. If your application ever throws an error, checking storage logs laravel.log is usually the fastest way to understand what went wrong. The test folder contains your application's automated tests. Laravel includes feature tests for testing entire flows, unit tests for testing individual functions. You might not use this right away, but Laravel testing tools are extremely helpful as your app grows. The vendor folder contains all the composer packages your application uses, including Laravel itself. You never edit anything inside the folder manually. Composer manages it. Common beginner mistakes. To keep your project clean and avoid frustration, here are a few common mistakes to avoid. Putting heavy logic directly inside roots, editing anything inside the vendor folder, hard coding configuration values instead of using .env, storing uploaded files directly in the public folder, ignoring logs include storage logs when debugging issues. Avoid these early will save you a lot of time. And that's the Laravel 12 folder structure. Simple, clear, and beginner friendly. Now you know exactly where your code lives and how Laravel organizes your application. In the next video, we will build your first Laravel page so you can see the structure in action. If this video helped you, please like the video, subscribe, and leave your questions in the comments.